Hello, I'm Sean, and I'm going to do my presentation of my teaching plan on. I would be teaching a group of high school art students Impressionism. So, just a summary of the lesson. Students would be taught about the history of the Impressionism art movement. They would learn techniques to recreate the style of the genre. uh, they would learn proper color valuing and learn how to properly lighten and darken paints. And they would create a final project based on the movement. So, just an introduction to the classroom setting. Tables would be put together in probably clusters of two, so these students would have enough space so that they could work together and talk to each other, but also have plenty of space to work on their own projects. And before I would begin any sort of presentation, I just ask anyone what they already know about Impressionism, and if they know any artists, if they know any paintings, and after then listing off some artists, I would ask if any seem familiar or if they recognize any of them, and questions would always be open for asking. Just a project timeline. It would take over the course of about 12 to 14 days. The first day would be sort of an introduction day where I would go over what Impressionism is, we would discuss it, and I would give the sort of timeline that I'm talking about right now to them. We'd have, or I'd assign 2 days for um, learning proper color valuing. So they'd make probably color value charts from like a scale of 1 to 10. Um, and then for each of the primary colors so that they could learn to properly lighten and darken them. And then they'd be given around 8 to 10 classes to work on the project itself, which I'll discuss in the upcoming slides. And then there would be one day where any finishing touches would be given, and then we would critique or give notes on each other's artwork, and then, yeah, just give notes and helpful criticisms. So in the presentation that I'd give the students, I'd ask the what, when, and who was Impressionism. I'd start off talking about the time period that it came from, being the 1860s by Claude Monet. It's got its name from his painting Impression Sunrise. Uh, I would mention other artists like Manet, Cezanne, Matisse, etc., and just stylistic things about it, like the very small and defined brushstrokes, and the very big focus on nature and natural lighting. So this would be the assignment that would take course over the 8 to 10 classes. What it would be is we would take little strips or cut out little sections of, be it magazines or calendars or pictures from the internet, of already existing Impressionist paintings. And then they would glue the little strips onto a canvas, to which they would then either try and recreate the original painting by painting around the little strip or cutout. Uh, and then they would, or they could create their own painting based off the little snippet. But the main goal would be to try and create an impressionist painting and make it look as natural as possible. So it would almost be like the little strip was camouflaged, because it would fit in with its surroundings. And fitting in with the philosophy that I'll talk in my essay, the prompt that I chose was the Dorothy Dinnerstein prompt, talking about the um, roots of sexism, and overthrowing sexist ideals and patriarchy. And so I would give lots of examples of female um, impressionist painters. There's a couple prevalent ones being Bertha Marsat, Mary Cassatt, or Eva Gonzalez. Um, and this would apply to all the other lessons that I would go over. I would show plenty of female artists because they are very prevalent in the art field. And yeah, there's many big contemporary artists that are female. And that is my presentation.